By the way, Steve hasn't. I don't think so. Steve has put up video in a long time, hasn't he?
I don't know. I don't care.
So yes, we have things happening here.
We have things
yeah,
happening. Unfortunately, I've still got my Tim Pool cosplay hat on because it seems to be trying to fuse itself to my head. I don't know what's going on, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. It's weird.
It says it's waiting for Chesh here.
What?
Huh.
What?
Yes.
Waiting for me? That can't be right.
Yes.
Who would be so foolish as to wait for somebody like little old me?
Okay, I guess it's
Like
a
a goblin?
It's a. Maybe it's a. I don't know. Who knows? We'll never know what
We
what
will
goes in there.
never
By the way, I
know.
do. We're getting our chimney flue redone.
Our chimney flue.
Hey, there it is.
But I do have a plan to give a recording of a nice fire crackling when the house is quiet, and I can do a stereo recording. Do you have a preferred length of how long you'd like your fire crackling?
2 minutes would be pretty good. 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes exactly. Exactly 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll shoot for around 5 to give you stuff, but this will be a public domain. Here's
Gonna
a
reheat
fire.
my tea.
I'll figure out how to make it public domain or Creative Commons. Do you have a preference?
No, I do not. It's your product.
But yes, I think it's silly that some people think they can own fire.
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Own fire sounds. I own the sound of this fire.
Oh,
Capitalism running abound. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
What's up? I hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's Friday. You guys good for Friday?
Yeah, it is Friday. How are you doing?
Yo, I'm a little tired.
Looking forward to meeting Madam Pele.
Yeah.
Yes,
let's go.
and is so I have to ask, how is Puck and how is Dr. Proton?
Dr. Proton is fantastic, judging me as usual, because I have not given him his quota of trays, the gravy trays that he always hogs on. Yeah. So I'm trying to control his diet and time it properly, with when I go to office or work and I come back, because he leaves food if he knows that I'm going to keep feeding him. So yeah, I'm trying to keep a consistent gap between his meals, and he's judging me for it very hard.
Puck's
I'm
doing
like,
well.
I gotta do that, buddy.
Got his noodles, his nudes today. He's
Nudes.
his nudes. He's getting macaroni noodles. And his toe is doing fine. There's no signs of infection. Got blood work back. His blood work's looking better. So it's just keep him on the same diet. So looking good so far. Good for an old man. For a dog that I was expecting to live for fucking 10 years, he is 12 and nearly 12 and a half. So,
How is that in people years?
Oh, he's 86.
So he's like he's older than the orange one then.
Yeah, he should be he should also be the next president. I think he would do a better job.
Or prime minister, right? Maybe he could run for prime minister.
Oh, that's true.
Oh no. Premier of
Technically, he is a German Shepherd. So.
Oh.
Yeah, so you could be Ontario Premier, right? You get a challenge.
Puck 4,
Yeah, anyway.
built for trust. Get him an ad that sounds like it was spoken by Discount Buzz Lightyear, pretending to be a cowboy.
Puck approves. Puck approves.
So
this
I have
message.
my Volcano mug there from the national park, including with ash from Madam Pele. I'm drinking a nice caffeinated tea.
Landon, I'm sorry I couldn't get in contact with my brother to come and see you when he was in Hawaii. But yeah, he was there for some time for one of his exercises. So yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Maybe another time. There'll be other times as well.
Another time.
So
He didn't tell me on time. It was his time to go back by the time I got to know that he's in Hawaii. I'm like, you asshole! You should have told me before. He's always traveling.
But I also mentioned Hawaii. I think that Hawaii is a good midpoint where Chesh and Maanyaa can meet. Right? It's because it's basically it's north of where you are, and it's a little bit west. It's kind of in a midpoint, and it's a nice place. You could.
I don't have to look at a map.
No, seriously, because I know that.
soon,
I was going like, no. Look at the geography of stuff,
and soon,
not the flat Earth map.
we are going to get good accommodation up there too, Chesh. So
we'll get good accommodations in Hawaii.
Yeah, Landon's there, right? Landon's brand new house, man.
Now, I also, just a disclaimer, if you hear construction noises here at Treehouse, it's because our construction is nearly finished, and so they're
see accommodation.
A couple weeks still. So yes, but yes. On the other hand, on the Big Island, there are some spots to go in. I think it would be relatively easy.
If it is actually a midway point, I am down to go to Hawaii. I am 100% down for that. We'll meet up in Hawaii. We'll do a volcano show from the volcano.
Yes.
Let's fucking
go. PPE and land there and be like, yeah.
And these two, I'll be sitting there being like, blow up, and these two will be sitting there discussing like the fucking health and safety regulations.
Yes. We can see how that goes.
We can go wine tasting on Hawaii with Landon.
Yes. And thank you.
For once, I will have wine once. I'll take that exception for the rule. Yeah.
Maanya's gonna be in Hawaii off her fucking medication so she can drink. She's gonna get unhinged real fast.
Don't do that.
There is a tradition.
It's such a beautiful.
Yes. So there's a tradition when you arrive at Volcano House that your first drink is a gin and tonic. And the reason for the gin and tonic is that many years ago, when I was there, there's a fire. There's a fireplace in there that has had a continuous fire for about 150 years, right? That they keep going of the set. And it's nice to have a couple of chairs there where you can read, particularly at night after you've had your visit to the volcano. You can see the glow in the background. Got this fire in front of you. It's a real nice thing. And I was there reading a book, and it was dead at night. And I heard this squeak, squeak, shuffle, shuffle.
Uh-oh.
Pause. Squeak, squeak, shuffle, shuffle. And I wasn't paying attention because there's sounds. This is a Volcano House. It was an old house from an American point of view. It was, for example, where Salmon Clemens, Mark Twain, lodged in while I was writing Roughing It. And other work. So it's an old house. So. But the squeaky kept coming, and so I kind of looked around, and I saw down the hallway this really old lady who was in a walker, and it was squeak the wheels, shuffle her feet, stop, right? And so she was like, "Oh, okay, this lady is coming to sit by the fire because it's a nice place." So I just didn't pay attention until she about 10 minutes later she's right up next to me. And I'm reading a book about geology or something like that. And she comes and says, "Young man." I said, "Yes." She says, and her question was, "Is it true that British people drink gin and tonic?" Now, reaction was just like you. Like, what? and I'm thinking,
Nani?
Excuse me?
And so I had to come out and say, and I had to parse the thing, and then I said, well, some of the best gin and tonic I've had was made by a British person who lived in Reading, England. He said, "I thought so," and she turned her walker around and spent another 10 minutes heading back down the thing, satisfied that.
You knew a person who made you a good gin and tonic who happened to be British a time.
Yes. And so what did I do? I went to the bar there and ordered a gin and tonic. And ever since then, the first drink is to go to the bar.
That's
now you get
hilarious.
Mai Tais later on, but the first one's gonna be gin and tonic
Oh,
because
okay.
Cash.
of that lady.
I'm here for
Cash.
that.
So that's a tale for a thing.
I like
but we
that.
have other tales to talk about.
That face I made, by the way, gets me in trouble so much and got me in so much trouble when I was a teenager. Yeah, what's up, Maanyaa?
So I just checked the flights from like Auckland to Hawaii,
Uh-huh.
and it's like the 1/3 of the price that will cost me to go back home to India.
Yes.
That sounds about right.
And
Wanna meet?
airlines and the state
Next
of
year,
Hawaii.
maybe, you know.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm going to check the flight costs.
I really do think a meetup between Maanyaa and Josh, and even is there, I could even arrange to
It's
be
due,
there
man.
to
It's
say,
long due. Seriously.
Yes. Anyway, shall we commence a volcano show?
Yeah, let's go. What's going on with Pele?
Let's go.
Let's go.
And Andrew said
Before that,
but answer to Tsar's question, it's called treehouse because there's a tree in a house. We do have a house and a tree outside, but this is called treehouse. Not the treehouse, but treehouse. Just like it's Guildhall, not the Guildhall. This is treehouse because there's a tree in the house. So
How big is the tree inside the
There you
house? Is it a lemon tree?
it's a big tree. It goes floor to ceiling. It's a big.
Did you make a house? Did you make a house around a tree as opposed to make a house
It
out of
was
a tree?
part of the. It's
I
part
love
of
such
the
houses.
tree.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway.
Landon lives in like the
Love
coolest
such
But yeah,
house
so we don't
ever.
have.
they accommodate nature.
My sister-in-law did make a little ceramic thing with fairy elves outside for one of the spots. But yeah. Anyway, but like I said, it's a nice spot, and I'm looking over at Canada. By the way, Chesh, there's some fires up there because I see smoke that direction.
That's
you may
normal.
wanna-
Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine
Shall-
while the
but-
world burns down around you.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So shall we commence? 'Cause
Yeah.
This is a show about volcanoes. And Madam Pele, shall we start?
Yes.
Unless you have any other comments
No, let's go.
or any other questions.
Let's
right.
go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, so this will be for those that have been following this show for a while. Thank you for your continued following. We really appreciate it. And if you happen to click the like button, it helps Chesh and the show. But if those that may be new, volcanoes are very common. A volcano erupting is sort of like saying it's raining someplace. And there's lots of volcanoes. We live on a very volcanically active planet. Now, not as good as the dwarf planet Io. That has a few more volcanoes than here on Earth, but pretty close. And if we look at the current database as of the August 16th, there were 46 volcanoes that were in continuous eruption, right? And since the beginning of this year, we're at 61 of volcanoes that erupted in this calendar year, and we still have 4 months to go. Last year was 71. Now 46 is a little bit low because usually we've seen stuff in the low 50s. So, but volcanoes kind of come and go. So
Volcanoes
that's
kind of come and go. Landon 2024.
that is there now. What is considered active is it's not really a geologic term per se because it varies. Some people talk about active volcanoes in somebody seeing and observing it, whereas they definitely are the scene volcano is more of it occurred during recorded history. There are lots of volcanoes that erupt that no one really notices. I mean, the last volcano that occurred in Canada, they didn't actually notice it had erupted until about 8 years later.
No one
It was
cares.
at 1900.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Canada. We don't give a shit.
Nice.
I mean, you do. It's just that there's vast bits of Canada that no one has.
There's a lot of
noticed.
space. Everybody here gets a lot of room to stretch.
Yes. and so it's one of the reasons why Chesh is so big, right? Because she fills up all this space in Canada.
Yeah, hold on. I will show you. I'm gonna give you a real life what it's like. Where am I? There's me. This is how I'm like this big IRL. Hi.
Yes, that is true. And there are people that say that Chesh actually looks bigger in real life than she puts on this goblin thing. Maybe it's an act.
Oh, so I've heard a couple of different things. I've heard people say after they met me at court say that I was larger than they thought, and actually claimed that I was larger than they were, which was just not a weird untrue thing because I was there, which was strange, and also that I'm smaller than I look as well. So I've heard a handful of other things. The most common response I get is usually "Wait, you're that short?" And it's you don't
sure I'll say the same thing when we meet, Chesh.
As much as I tell people I am small and I am not 5 feet tall, they don't know what that means relatively until they see it. It's just
but she has she packs a lot into that space. Not quite black hole level, but she is. I'm not saying she's dense. She's just.
I'm dense and massive. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
By the way, and I agree with a rodent, no less named, that they have a lot of Canada in Canada. Yes, Canada is full of Canada. It's
I like
very.
that.
Yeah.
It is.
We're getting some
one of its
really
delightful-
cool quotes today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, how come that thing stopped?
The thing that's delightful about Canada is it's very Canadian. Some parts. There are parts
My
that
question is then.
are different.
My question, Landon. So
Yes.
the page that you have up says volcanoes with continuing eruptions is 46, and then the volcanoes that erupted during 2024 is 61. So is it like same volcanoes erupting multiple times, or is it 61 separate volcanoes erupting?
61 separate volcanoes. And so that little bit,
Oh.
remember Madam Pele had an 11-hour run of eruption? That's one of the 61, right? They come and go, right, for stuff.
They come, they go. You schmooze.
Now, if you look at the actual map of volcanoes, the red ones are the active eruptions, right? Lots of volcanoes going on. If you look at where they are, again, you've got the two Stromboli that are almost always in continuous eruption in Italy. Actually, right now, Iceland, we'll see, is that one was erupting, and now it's not. And you have the one in Ethiopia, the one in the Indian Ocean. This one, Barren Island, is a nice thing. That's a place that is actually quite interesting from a point of view out in the Indian Ocean. DR Congo has two that are active. Indonesia, let's see what in Indonesia. Let's see how many it has. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Indonesia now is 8. It's a very volcanically. And then this one here is in the process of unrest. These orange ones are in a state of unrest that could erupt. So it has 8 erupting and 5 in middle of there. Now, if you come up to here, this one in Alaska, Katamai is in unrest, and they're watching, and also the Great Sikkim as well is in unrest state. People are watching that they might actually erupt. Of course, you have central Mexico that's actually erupting. It's usually there. There's usually 2 in Guatemala, 1 in Nicaragua. We have a couple in Ecuador, Peru, Chile. It's got one. This is really nice. This is actually a nicer thing. When you fly from Santiago to Punta Arenas, Magellan Strait, you go by this volcano, and it's a nice thing to watch for. Of course, you have the Sandwich Islands, right? Is erupting. That one has been coming and going. Mount Erebus always, and Antarctica seems to be always in continuous eruption. The largest lava lake in the world now is Erebus in Antarctica. Actually, it's an island off the coast of Antarctica, where McMurdo is, near where McMurdo base is. If you look for that. Let's see, Pacific Ocean. We got Cocos, Santa Cruz, Tonga, Vanuatu there. So the Russian Peninsula, Kamchatka, areas got a bunch of stuff. Japan, of course, has a couple.
Philippines. Yeah.
And and Iwo Jima now is enjoined, right? You know the Iwo Jima of World War II notoriety. It's now erupting.
Wow.
So that's sort of the set of stuff. So we live in a nice volcanically active world. Now we've had some active eruption going on in Iceland. This is a map showing you the
Might need to
eruption
zoom in on
and,
that one
and
a
the
little
flow. Okay, let me go and zoom in
Thanks.
there, and you can see how it goes into stuff. And here's a 500 meter mark, so half kilometer there, so you get an idea about the flow and the size of things. And a couple of other events, so a vent here, a couple of events here. So it's been this was, if you look at these are August 26th to September 1st. Right now, if we look at a live picture, we can see it's more like steamy, it's like what Halimama was after an eruption sort of stopped. It is thermally active there. You can see cars driving by. Icelandic people say, "Yeah, okay, there's a volcano. So what?" There you can see it on peninsula. The peninsula where Reykjavik is up here. So there's a peninsula with these fault lines going on. Here's another live camera view, and you can see there's probably is some lava coming out in tubes, but it's not flowing enough that you can see. It's daytime, so it's hard to see the glow. If it's nighttime, you'd see a little bit of red stuff there, but it's going and doing a little bit of stuff there. And if we go, this was on the 28th. So let's look at stuff here. So this is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right, let me go and
The
get.
drone
I should give you a
survived
little
that
bit
area.
of
That's cool.
little sound.
They full screen it?
What? Sorry.
Can you full screen it? Press the little, not the big square. Press the one beside it or two beside it. It'll say like theater mode.
This one here.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Alex! Alex! Oh god. Alex from the live chat. Man, oh man. That's wow. Wow.
There's some real nice
Most
footage
people
here.
have
Oh,
no
sorry,
clue that in
sorry,
2023 the season's on.
Jeff Bezos sucks, by the way, for anybody who cares.
Get out of the way. I want to watch the volcano. Oh wow, that looks beautiful. Look at that river that's formed. Right? Oh my goodness. Damn, this volcano put up a show. Hey, Madam Pele. I think so you got competition.
Yes. So these are
Whoa,
real nice
careful.
zoomed in
Yeah, I'm
here
just
for
like,
you.
oh, just, sorry.
Lonnie's asking for trouble.
Wow. Oh my god.
And you can see
And you
how
can see the lava
cools
moving,
down
yeah.
and moving, but look at this beautiful.
This fountain is created. This fountainin created a lot of witch hair.
Very cool.
Wow. This is drone footage, right? Wow. Oh, you can see like the lava bubbling.
Yeah, look at that.
That was the boy. This is the flow.
This is the prohibited, the forbidden brownies.
Very,
Yeah.
very high temperature stuff. These embers are really blistering hot. But the flow is gradually is slow, and so it's kind of getting thick and tearing the rock.
If I ever need to hide evidence, I know where to go. Good luck. Good luck getting there unnoticed. There's a lot of footage around volcanoes. If you want to pick a
I just
volcano
went
to
to
dump
see a
something in where
volcano,
nobody's
what the
paying
fuck?
attention, you go to White Island.
So it's in a flat area.
But
A flat area where the pressure
Madam.
kind of is pushing the cinder front. It's freezing because when the lava gets in contact with the air, it freezes.
that poor moss or grass. Ah. The poor foliage. It's okay, it'll be back.
I want to show you like this section here.
I was just saying, like, for hiding evidence, if you travel to Iceland, you're like, I just went
So
to see
where
the
the lava's
volcano erupt.
actually
What's your
flowing.
problem, man?
That's red, right?
Oh wow, look at that.
Because it sits there for a while, it begins to freeze.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, Landon's low for some reason. Yeah.
Yes, because he messed with his
Wait,
volume so we could hear the video.
of course. Landon trying to help out.
Putting in work. Putting in that production.
Work,
How long
work,
is that?
work, work,
Take
work,
whatever off
work,
to go on
work,
sideline.
work. It almost looks like it's animated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
something Zach would produce.
Be a cool painting.
Mm. Whoa.
Again,
Whoa, whoa,
very high
whoa.
speed
Look at
screen,
that.
so you get lots of red because it's moving and doesn't have a chance to freeze.
And there's all that crackling sound that goes with it as well.
This is Pohoihoi, Loki lava. That's really nice at the surface.
Oh wow.
It's not going down.
The person controlling the camera and the drone knew exactly how to go about taking the video. It's fantastic.
Getting what they
It's a
wanted?
broken
Yeah,
bar here,
absolutely.
another-
Yeah.
Another minute, not another 2 minutes, but it's worth. And I like these fractal
Oh,
patterns.
wow.
Again, we saw similar things
Oh, that's
at
beautiful.
Maanyaa, that same kind of jaggedy.
Wow, that's, oh my god, that's so beautiful. And then you can see like little like orange sparks coming out here and there, you know,
Yes.
little like, you know, like sparklers.
Will be bits, bubbles that come to the surface. But now as it's flowing
Yeah.
slower, it's starting to freeze and developing that skin. At
Yeah.
the very extreme edge becomes ah, or the crinkle bits.
Wow. Like it's gonna hypnotize you or something if you watch too long.
So those bubbles that come to the surface and go pop.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Alex, stop it. Oh my god. Alex, they have a theme today for jokes. It looks like it.
They're in a mood. Alex woke up today
Yeah.
and chose violence, and I'm here for it.
Yes, they did. They did choose violence. Yeah.
I'm here for it. You're not gonna catch any
Yeah.
flack from me.
No. I'm just.
For anybody who's curious, Alex said Trump sewage pipes after he eats lunch. I don't think that would be as beautiful as this is, nor as natural.
No. Yeah. No, I think so. It's insulting the volcano to say that, like, you know, compare it with anything related to Trump. You know what I mean? What? Appreciate the theme of the joke. Appreciate that. Wow. Holy moly.
Whoa. And which volcano is this again?
August 28th.
Whoops.
Huh?
August 28th, he said.
I'm Eugene Vimman.
Hi, Eugene Vidman.
Go away.
Yeah.
Go away, Eugene.
Anyway, let me return back to normal audio here.
Hello. We can hear Landon again.
All right, back. All right, back. thought you'd probably enjoy, because right now, Madam Pele is not erupting. So if we look at the, let me zoom this in. What's happening here? There were 12 earthquakes yesterday, last 24 hours near the surface. If you look at the output of 75 tons per day on.
Yeah.
So it's like almost no gas. There are some earthquakes, but it's kind of come and go. It kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, they're very scarce for 12. Yeah. 12 a day.
Now there's been some intrusion, right? So if we look at if you look at, and let's go to this one next, right? You look at this map. This is kind of this was done on August, and we can see. Remember, these are a color band from red to blue represents about a 2.8 centimeter change in elevation, right? Magma is pushing underground and it's pushing the rock up, and we can see some things here from where this magma is moving. Again, given the size of stuff, it's a large area given the number of kilometers, and lots of earthquakes, right? Here is Halemaumau. This is the summit here in that region, and we can see that stuff has happened underground, right? There, and of course, these are sites of previous eruptions. These sort of all these craters. So one can assume that what's happening is magma is pushing underground, causing the top to crack. And you look at the earthquakes here, the size. The bigger circles are at magnitude 3 and down to tiny ones. So lots and lots of earthquakes. And if you go to stay at this is the entrance of the national park, and this is the visitor center, and all kinds of good cool stuff there. But yes, this is the area where lots of earthquakes. No lava, but definitely stuff is happening underneath.
Shimmy.
Yes. And so they started monitoring. So you look at this thing here. Let's look at the tilt meters, right? And we see.
Can we zoom that in?
Over the week. Yep. Thank you. So here's of the day, and these little spikes are earthquakes that caused the mountain there. So let's focus on the blue line, because the blue line is up at the summit, and we can see that there's these deflation, inflation things, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I'll explain this green line in just a moment. But if you look over the month, we see periods where it was a little deflation, inflation, and just like change, and then there's a big thing, and it goes back to these deflation, inflation events. So here you say the magma is doing stuff, turning over in the chamber, not much, but just expanding, right? Now this green line, they started seeing some activity at a vent called Pu'u'o'o. Pu'u'o'o was where most of the lava came out during that 35.5-year eruption period, where it started January 3rd, 1983, and lasted all the way to mid-2018. Most of the lava came out of this vent here. Here's the summit, right? Here's 5 kilometers, right? If we look at things here, let me zoom in. Whoops, did I do it too much? Oh, here it is. All right. So here's the Halemaumau summit. Here's where all of those earthquakes and bulgings occurring. You see more chain of craters, and this is where Pu'u'o'o is, right? Within the Sept, and that's a 5-kilometer mark. So this is where they had some tilt meters. And we saw some of these things starting to occur where the magma was getting far enough that they wondered, hey, is it, are we seeing deflation, inflation events out farther down the pipe? And we did. So it turned on here. Yeah. Unfortunately, they lost the signal, and they're trying to get it back. Well, it is
a volcano.
Very wiggly, volcanically, it's so they're trying to get that stuff restored again, the data acquisition stuff. But yes, this is the name of that event called Pu'u'o'o, and it's a little
So what does
cone on the
that
side.
mean?
And I was just about to say it's something like little cone, little mountain, little vent, right?
Okay.
The
Ooh,
the
ooh, ooh,
video
ooh,
we
ooh.
just saw was what Pu'o looked like. That was the thing where the magma would come up underneath Holy Mount at the summit, and then head down that spine, out down the East Rift Zone, and then come out at Pu'o. So Pu'o was the vent. So it was very similar. The type of flows we saw, the type of fountaining we saw that creates that little mound, is what Pu'o was. And for many years, it was the site of nearly 4 cubic kilometers of lava over the 35 and a half year eruptions came out at that vent. Again, I say 4 cubic kilometers. So a cube, a kilometer on a side, is a lot of lava. So if you talk about that in washing machines, right? So we might say
I was about to ask that. I'm like, how many washing machines? Damn it, Landon!
It's almost like we've done this before.
So let's assume we need to have what's a standard size for a washing machine? Is it like a cubic meter?
A standard washing machine or an apartment washing machine?
Yeah, like in the laundromat or at home.
A laundromat or at home is a good question. An industrial-sized washing machine or like a house washing machine?
We need to come up with a standard, right? What do you think that most people are most familiar with?
I'm gonna go with house washing machine because that'll be the one most people I think are familiar with.
So is that a cubic meter? You think?
It is.
Meters, I think.
85 centimeters or 33.5 inches with a depth of 60 centimeters.
0.85 meters cubed, right? So that means that it's basically 2/3 of a cubic meter.
Sounds right.
Right. So in a cubic kilometer, there are it's 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters. There's in a cubic kilometer there's 1 billion cubic meters.
Yeah, 27 inches wide to 42 to 44 inches tall to 27 to 28 inches deep.
So what was that again?
On average, top load washing machines, 27 inches wide, 42 to 44 inches tall. So 27, 42 to 44, and 27 to 28.
Okay. 27 by 42, you said?
27 by 42 by 27.
27 by 42 by 27.
Yep.
So because this is an important metric here. So that says 1/2 cubic meter.
Yeah, this is a top load washing machine, by the way, not a front load washing machine. This is the one that you open at the top and throw shit in, not like a front loady one.
Yeah. So I think what we could say is that a standard washing machine is 1/2 cubic meter.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So a cubic kilometer would be 2 billion washing machines. So Pu'o put out 8 billion washing machines worth of lava.
Give or take.
35 years.
I'm gonna know
that's a washing machine per human on planet Earth, right?
Did you say? So you said 2 billion?
But it put out 4 cubic kilometers, so it's 8 billion. 8 billion washing machines over 35 half years.
Boy.
Right. So it was it is a favorite thing. I've had a number of
still not even remotely close to the number of chickens on the planet.
That is true. And it is not anywhere close to the amount that's in a megapint of wine.
Imperial washing machines?
April's asking what that is in imperial washing machines.
What's Imperial? Is it a particular brand or what?
No, Imperial versus metric, Maanyaa.
Is that Imperial washing machines don't exist people do
Too tired.
clean
I'm
washing.
sorry.
Listen, there's no such thing as imperial washing machines. There's only democratic washing machines.
Yes, the royal household doesn't
You get to shop around and pick the one you want, as opposed to just being dictated a washing machine.
King Big Ears was sending people down to the Thames to do the scrubbing.
I'm going to send the peasants washing machines.
Except that the Tories put out so much crap.
And then they just send you a fucking, hand scrubber fucking washboard.
That they instead send it to India. They farm it to India to go to the Ganges because it's cleaner.
Oh.
Dude, that hurt. Come on, that
we don't want any imperial entanglements, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Don't do that. At the moment. So. Yep. What?
We're dead. We're unalived. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's it. That's it. We're over. Show's over. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, go on.
So that's what that's big ways. But we can see that there is out that far in the map, right? Out this far, because remember, this is where the bulging occurring is in this area here, right? This is farther out, and they're seeing evidence that thing is starting to pulse, right? We're starting to see deflation, inflation things occurring, and it's a little bit out of phase. Notice that how you start off at Maanyaa first, and it takes time for that pressure to go down the pipe to be seen at Pu'o. There's always a delay shift there. Now, we'll hopefully get chronometry again, and by next time we might see more stuff if Pu'o is doing something exciting. This is also something we know about the distance across the caldera. We can see that it still is expanding, and every time it does a drop, these are little eruptions. That occurs when magma reaches the surface, it becomes lava, and it starts outgassing, and then the thing contracts. Over the fire period, we can see eruptions. You can see that it's sort of still building up. But part of the reason why they started paying attention to the Pu'o cone was its distance all of a sudden spiked up, suggesting that magma is surging underneath. So this was Pu'o out here. And we can see over the period, it wasn't doing much, kind of shrinking, all of a sudden, like, bloop, it's starting up, right? Something's happening where presumably magma is getting far enough into near Pu'o that it's beginning to expand. Pu'o is a weak point in the East Rift. And so it's almost certain if the magma surge reaches Pu'o, it has a much easier chance to break open there than up top. But besides, also remember, Pu'o is lower down. So you got magma out near the surface that's going downhill, increases pressure, and it's more likely to burst out there. But will do what she does. We're just guessing here at this point. So if you look at the earthquakes, we can see here's Maanyaa, here's the summit. And we can see earthquakes. These, in fact, the red ones are within the last hour. So if we look at the last day, we see again continuous stream of quakes. Right? If we zoom out just a little bit, this is where Pu'o is over here, and you can see there's earthquakes. So it is reaching there, although most of them are back this way. Right? And if we look at the last 7 days, we see lots and lots of stuff there again. And these things are relatively shallow, right? Right here, there's 120 earthquakes over the last 7 days. Most of them are concentrated in this region, right? If we zoom in here, whoops, that's too far. Back out.
We've gone too close.
Here, we see, 107 in this region, right? Here is the park entrance. Here's Maanyaa Pit. And we can see that there's still a lot of stuff. So most of the magma surge is in this region. Again, look back at the bulge area. Most of the bulging is occurring near the summit there. Pu'o is much farther down the line. It's about twice as far to the right as before. So things are happening. Things are expanding. Lots of earthquakes. If we look at the webcam, let's look at live stuff. So here is the Maanyaa Pit. A nice day. Nothing's happening here. This is basically, this lava pit is now congealed rock. these little discolorations are the gas that's kind of out baking out. So you got this nice bread loaf that's proofing, and it is sending nice red type gases out, and that's the discoloration comes from the gases kind of leaching out of the
may or may not
cooling.
be a little bit wispy.
Yes, it's crispy on the top, but it's definitely slushy down below, not too far, because it takes a long time for rock to cool. Here is another view from the down drop block.
Oh wow!
It's a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit here.
Oh okay. Oh okay. There we go.
Right, and you can see
Is that
again what?
That white stuff, the white and almost the brown stuff that's there,
Yes.
almost in a circle, you could say. That's sulfur and ferrous.
Yes, and other minerals as well. Lots of minerals being and dissolved. So
oxidation is happening there, right?
Gas that was trapped in the liquid rock. And now the rock is cooled, and the gas is basically forced out through cracks, right? Because this area now it was smooth, but all this brittle area is because the rock is essentially contracting and cooling down and uneven, so it kind of fractures, right? It's very difficult to walk on this because there's so many cracks and up and down, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, don't go swimming in there.
No,
don't go swimming in
there. And this is solid rock, but maybe if you were to dig down, maybe 20 meters, 25 meters, you start hitting liquid rock. So there still is stuff that is outgassing and cooling. And if you don't have much in the way of rain, you don't have too severe of rain, you get really beautiful mineral colorizations. When you go down here and look, I mean, we see white and sort of orange, but you start looking at close detail, there are beautiful minerals and crystals that start forming.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh God, Tesh, come on.
Crispy.
Yes, like
You tell me you don't think that man's gooey somewhere under there.
Yeah. Let's look over here. So this is the Southwest Rift Zone. Remember, we said, well, maybe the Southwest Rift Zone was going to erupt. In fact, it had an 11-hour eruption out there, and we said this is the place where it's going to be. This is Mauna Loa, by the way, the long mountain. And there's a little bit of
how far are we, Landon? How far is that? Has that picture been taken from Mauna Loa? Just to get the perspective?
No, this is on Kilauea. We're looking at Mauna Loa to the distance, right? So this is the
so what's the distance?
Now would be probably about 1.5 kilometers to the right.
Yeah.
We're going down. This is down the Southwest Rift Zone. But the point is, there's not much here, right? There's not much happening on this spot. Here's another spot from the Northeast Rift Zone. So this is the area.
Oh, wow,
remember
that looks
when
beautiful.
you saw the bits over, where is it? When you see these bumps, right? These bumps here from older eruptions, right? That's what you're seeing. Where is it? That's what you're seeing here. Some of these former events. So this is, again, you're looking off towards Mauna Loa, but you're now in the East Rift Zone. So this is an area where most of the bulging is occurring. Most of the earthquakes are occurring is in this region. Pu'o'o is, so we're about 2 kilometers to the east of the summit, and Pu'o'o is another 2 to 3 kilometers further down. Let's see, let's visit. Here's another spot here. It was raining here.
Yeah, the lens is completely echo. Oh wow.
Yeah. So this is out in the. This is
some...
much further out. And out on the rift zone, nothing happening there. So they've got these cameras up waiting to see, well, where is it going to go? What's it going to do? Here's another one. This is actually at Pu'o itself. So this is was left of the big vent. So that vent you saw in Iceland formed a thing like this. But this one's a 35.5-year vent with 8 billion washing machines of lava. And again, this thing, noticeably change the shape of the island. Right, I'd come back after a half year, and I could see the coastline changing as Pele is pushing her way into the ocean, because she's still mad at her sister because they're both in love with the same volcano god dude.
Oh,
It's drama.
Oh man, come on, girls, stop fighting over one dude. Come on, please.
Yeah, and then and in fact,
He's not worth it.
a lot of the hooligans' traditions are around trying to are going to be calm, and for the lady of fire to stay up in her house of ferns up in the summit, and for the lady of the ocean to do nice fishy things down there and to not clash. Right? They're trying to keep
Chill
the peace.
out.
Yes, because when that happens, people who live on the coast have an easier time. Air quality wise, we look at the monitors here. Like, let's do an update. There isn't, as I say, with that many, only 75 tons of gas, there's not much happening. The outgassing is probably, again, forming those crystals, the little colored spots there. That's really what's happening here. So here again, if you look at the distance, here's Pu'o here. This is the area where there's bulging and lots of earthquakes. But as you see, we see that this area here is beginning to do a DI event, beginning to respond to pulses. So think about the magma is coming up near the summit and Holly Mountain crater, but instead of reaching the summit, it's got this giant rock cap that prevents it. So what does it do? It goes to the side. It was starting to go to the southwest. In fact, it even had an 11-hour eruption in this spot, and that's where the camera was over here. And now the magma is moving this way to the point where Pu'o is beginning to respond, a little delayed, right? So you get a surge here, and then Pu'o seeds a little bit of up down, not to the point where it has broken through. You might remember in 2018, there's a bunch of homes that were destroyed in the very far southeast corner of the island, where the magma went underneath Pu'o all the way to the edge, right? So if you look from a point of view of the map of, let's see, where's the map of Hawaii? Let's go back here.
Alex has a question that says, on the scale of damn this air fresh to dead, how fresh is that air? That's a fair question.
So that's a good question. Hawaiian volcanoes are not high sulfur. So if you've ever been to a place like Yellowstone, or if you've been to some of the hot springs in New Zealand, they are very sulfur rich. You get that rotten egg smell.
Yeah.
And it is worse than smelly. As Maanyaa said, it's not good to breathe. Is that right?
Unpleasant.
Yeah. So there's more hydrogen sulfide in there, guys. Yeah.
Yes.
It will be dead.
Hydrogen sulfide.
Dead air.
Yeah. and when you breathe sulfur dioxide into your lungs, sulfur dioxide comes with moisture in your lungs and turns into sulfuric acid. And breathing in acid and depositing in your lungs is not a way to have a good time.
I mean,
not advised.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. However, so that's if you go to those hot springs, you see that stinky rotten egg smell. If you go to this vent and stick your nose down in it, you can get a little whiff of sulfur, but not much. There's the volcanic systems here. The basaltic stuff tends to be very low sulfur, right? When lava does flow, it's a very fast, low sulfur type thing, and so it actually doesn't smell that much. However, when it's erupting, it's a lot of stuff. So back again, look at this was the area where at the end of 2018 those homes were destroyed, because what happened, about a cubic kilometer was sitting here at the surface. It went underneath Pu'o, which is here. Pu'o collapsed, and it moved all the way down the spine and came out and cracks here and flowed. So this was the area where it flowed, and that cubic kilometer that moved to the end of the island and went splat, That's what caused the summit to collapse, because it basically evacuated the magma that's holding up the surface. So that's down drop block and all that collapse of came from the magma that went all the way to the surface, all the way to the edge, right? So what's happening? Well, magma's coming up towards the surface, but it got this giant rock block.
Landon, come back.
Okay, sorry. Let me go back here. Trademark Canada. Is it here? No, it is here. There we go. So the
I can tell when he starts speaking with his hands.
The clicking stops.
Underneath the summit, moved down the island underneath Pu'o. Pu'o collapsed, and it was forced all the way to the edge of the island, where it came out and destroyed a bunch of timeshare homes.
Can I just say, Landon, before we move on too much, that shirt looks lovely on you. That's a nice shirt.
Thank you.
That looks great. I love that. That looks awesome. You look great. You look good today. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
So I picked out 1000s because all the others were too flat, which is a Monty Python reference.
Ha!
Eric the Fish.
And it's so funny,
I get it.
A little bit.
It's funny, like we try to predict Madam Pele's movements, right? And then she just comes up with some, and she's like, oh, children, and she just like comes up with absolutely something different. Oh yeah, by the way, here, yeah. Do you wanna give your focus to that area, please? And you suddenly realize, oh, there's that area too. How did we forget that? And you're like, damn it.
The hubris of man.
Yeah. Now, in this show, we would do predictions, and it is it's difficult to get exact, but on the other hand, we have
it's fun to be wrong.
A reasonable idea what's going on, right? Yeah. The question becomes, when will it happen, right? That's more of a guessing game.
When, and like kind of like the minute details of exactly how it's going to, like what's going to happen first.
Yeah.
So
kind of like politics.
To keep a kilometer of magma that was underneath the surface of Halemaumau when it was relatively flat, surged down the pipe, went past Pu'o, collapsed, it cut off the tube, it went and squirted all the way down to the end of the island and out. Right? Meanwhile, the summit, no longer having magma underneath it to hold it up, the summit then sank in. So that big pit we see of Halemaumau was a magma chamber. The top fell in, and then it started erupting again, filling up the what would normally have been a magma chamber would have just been refilled, but the top collapsed in. Now you've got this cap on, and the magma is having a hard time making its way up through this blockage. And so it went a little bit to the southwest and stopped, and then went to the east and is starting again. So we have pretty good ideas about what's happening. The question is, what do you think will happen next?
Well, I think before we do that, we should see what we said last time and how close we were, and then we can say what do we think is going to happen next.
Yeah. So last time, Maanyaa and I tried to commit to a show.
Hey, we did commit to a show. We did it. It was quite well.
Good job.
Yes, everything went perfectly.
I believe that without question. I believe that so thoroughly that I'm not even going to go look.
Well, what did we say?
The last time.
We did enter a prediction for chess, by the way.
You guessed for me. Perfect.
Yeah.
I believe you picked something that I would probably have guessed and said. I believe in you.
So Landon had said we will have very few DI events. Gas levels will remain low. Burst of earthquakes to east zone. Mostly east. West may have few. And then I had said that there will be only increase in DI events and everything else will stay the same. April had said more quakes, underground magma movement with one small eruption. For Chesh, we had said, I want a big boom.
Sounds like me.
Yay!
I got pretty close.
So I think of that. Oh, I would have to say that I was probably the closest to there. Some DI events.
Mhm.
We did have
Yeah.
about maybe a half month where there wasn't much, and we've
Yeah.
gotten since the end of August, we've had a new DI events showing up. There wasn't much in the way of Southwest, so everything is going to the east. And even farther is getting in the action of not erupting, but kind of going up and down in response to delayed surges of stuff. So
Sounds good.
So
So what do we think is
who
going to
else do
happen
you
next
think was
time?
close? Was April? Did April get pretty close there, or was that?
April had said, let me just double check it for you. More quakes, underground magma movement with one small eruption.
Close.
Okay, so apart from the one small eruption,
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm
Ooh,
sticking.
you're getting
I'm
close.
sticking with my prediction from last time.
and
I
so
want-
Chesh's
I
big
want an
boom,
earth-shattering kaboom.
I think the thing about Chesh's boom is it was not volcanic; it was human. We'll just leave it like that.
Ooh, something
Oh
went
boy,
boom.
oh boy.
If you want more information, watch Dumbpack Friday. Woo, Dumbpack Friday.
Hey. All right, I'm here. I'm here for a. I am here for a eruption. I want an eruption. Give.
So Slicks has said, I predict a wet fart.
Yeah, that's a reasonable prediction.
You know, and what Slick said, that's what happened in the Southwest Red Zone for about 11 hours. There's a little bit of a fart. I'm kind of wet. Madam Pele does have a big day because it rains a lot there, so things are okay now. She's doing fine. But
settled down.
The question, of course, I would assume that wet fart would occur again. A small short eruption on the east red zone, I assume, is what you can clarify. It's like as if that was the what you mean.
April is saying the same prediction as last time. So still movement of magma, earthquakes with a small eruption.
Okay, Maanyaa.
We might see something come out of Pu'u.
Oh. Pu'u. Oh. Pu'u. Oh. Pu'u. Oh.
A lot of gas with a small amount of lava, said Slick.
Yeah.
I just realized that I clicked on the wrong thing and almost accidentally hid Slicks while I was trying to put their comment up on screen. And I just realized it's been freaking forever since I've had to time anybody out or ban anybody on this channel. So good job, everybody, for behaving.
Oh, that's so nice. So Landon, what are your predictions?
By the way, the actual literal meaning in Hawaiian is a hill of the digging stick, right? It's a little hill. A little hill that someone had made the gods have made by a digging stick, right?
A digging stick.
Okay, nice. That's
a little hill.
Yeah,
it's a little
that's
hill.
very
It's a
unique.
little village. Yes.
That's unique. Yeah.
Zara wants to predict that giant aliens will come to pick up the ice cream cone. Ice cream cones.
So I predict that we will continue to have low sulfur emissions. We will have bursts of earthquakes on the East Rift Zone only. We will have alternating periods of DI events followed by just expansion. Right, so the DI events will come and go, and if we have metering going back, if the data collection at Pu'o returns, we'll see the Pu'o responding delayed, continued delayed. Right, there'll be when there's a inflation event at the summit, a little while later, we'll see a inflation of the ground in Pu'o. So we'll continue to see stuff where the magma is working its way down. We're seeing earthquakes as a result of magma moving, but no eruption, right? No eruption at all. It'll be continue that sort of building up to something that occurred. I want to kind of just quickly share again the set here. Yes. So here is the Pu'o event. Halemaumau is off over here.
Yeah.
And you see these are all the lava flows that occurred over the many years of eruption. Lots of stuff. The line of coastline used to be back over here, right?
Yeah.
This used to be the coastline. So all this stuff out here, all this area down here is new land. You can see in terms of kilometers down here, lots of material flew out. This is part of that. See that this line there? This is part of the rift zone that's going east. You can see here's the Chain of Craters Road. So Halemaumau is sitting just right up here. And so the meters we're seeing from over in this spot, the earthquakes are occurring over here, but they're moving down. So I'm predicting we'll have more of the same, and Pu'o will begin to respond, but we're not yet to the point where it's going to end up flowing. Pu'o had a beautiful lava lake.
Oh wow!
Oh.
This nice cone here.
Yeah.
It's an ice cream cone.
Ooh.
Yep. Again, that same sort of thing here. You can see what happens here. Here's the thing where, again, you had the magma summit reservoir. Well, this reservoir was actually much closer to the surface. And here is where the quakes and the bulging is occurring right now. It would go down here to hit this spot and then flow to the sea. This is what was happening. There's sometimes fissures where things would leak up in the middle, but that was the process that was occurring. But lots of this is usually what you see flowing through there. Lots of so you would fly over helicopters, you could see the stuff. All this green stuff has now been all covered. There was some people dumb enough to build their houses right underneath the world's most active volcano.
Oh, come on.
And all their islands occurred. I believe it's through
Hilton Royal Garden subdivision.
Yes, it is. And they have rights to the rock that's a couple meters down, but all the stuff on the surface is now public land. So they have right to rock below, but they can't get to it because they have to go through public land. You see this? There was right here. Here's another, again, as the Hawaiians would say, Madam Pele takes care of miscreants. This is, you see, here's the public. Here's the national park boundary, right? This is the national park boundary here, right? And so this thing was tucked up right next to the national park. Mm-hmm. And people said, hey, you're getting in this area. It's that's not a good thing. Well, yeah. But what's worse is that
the hubris of man too. Electric Boogaloo.
Hilton Hotels put a hotel right here, right there.
Where?
Right
oh
there.
Wow.
The hubris of man 3, the Revengeifus.
What is this? What's happened here? Well, let me tell you. Again, this is outside national park. They put a hotel here, and they put a road. They built a road up to the national park boundary and stopped, so that people could go because this is where the lava was flowing down here. So they basically built a road saying, "Hey, come visit our hotel."
Sometimes people just get what they deserve.
Show, boys.
Up to the national park boundary, and you can watch things, right? What happened when it started flowing through here and taking out the subdivision? Well, this lava is going down, working its way down here. So this would be this
natural selection
there. But so the lava is this is kind of flat area. It's kind of struggling getting to the ocean here, and all of a sudden it found this really nice, flat, wide rock zone. It hit that road, and within about 6 hours had poured down took out the
So they actually
hotel. Yes.
So they actually
So
made a path for the lava to travel down to.
yes. So when you look at this thing here, this is look at what happened right here. This is the thing where the volcano's here, and basically they created a path and went zip out and said, okay. And of course, Hawaiian said this was an abomination to the area that they hold special, and Madam
Yeah.
Pele took care of it.
We have a question
Madam
from
Pele was
Sar
like,
for Landon in the
hold my
chat
beer.
that says, Landon, are you saying that volcanoes are Darwinism at work?
Yeah. So like this was a
Short answer,
was
yes.
The,
yes, he is.
Long
yes,
answer.
they're dumb people. So this is an example of an area near the park boundary where it started pouring through, right? Because this is the fence. The fence didn't do much because it said, yeah. You know, in fact, I think I like the fact that it didn't even take up a fence. It just
That's
said,
so
well, we're just going to go through the fence.
That's so cute. It's a cute fence.
And these are spots here where you can see the beginning of the flow coming through here and burning the ground. This was when the summit collapsed, right? So when that cubic kilometer of lava, that's 2 million washing machines, went from underneath the summit, under Pu'o, and down towards the end, Pu'o collapsed. And so it fell in. And that's the collapse of stuff which caused the summit to collapse. So that's a little bit of stuff for when we talk about being excited about Pu'o. That was the
April from the live chat. April from the live chat. I hope their insurance covers Act of Goddess. I don't think so. I don't think so. They lost that money.
So,
I'm assuming
if you get volcano insurance, if lava takes out your property, you can collect on the insurance. The problem that many people faced was that if lava doesn't take out your house, then you can't collect. So if you look back at the map, right? I'll go back again. This is an important point about.
Yeah, but there's a difference between residential buildings and commercial buildings, isn't it? Like there would be different types of insurance.
Oh God, are we actually going into having discussions about what insurance would and would not cover based on a fucking joke? Please, no, don't do this to me.
And so
all right.
You see the subdivision? Do you see these lines, these grid lines? This was a subdivision with blocks and buildings there. So if you were here
I'm going home.
Lava took out your property, you could collect. If you were
Stream's
here,
over, guys. We're doing it again. We're running the joke. We're running the joke back again. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So if you were here, you weren't covered, right?
I do it.
Now your property may be inaccessible, but you weren't covered. And so there was the last remaining house was actually right here.
Oh wow!
Right at this spot, the last remaining house was tucked right into here. And what the person did, they opened up a B&B, and you could get there by helicopter. So you could take a helicopter from Hilo and land.
Rich people
here,
suffering is amusing.
And walk over to see the tube, right? Until it eventually tube broke open and went and wiped out the place. Again, no one got hurt. It just is a bit of hubris to say, they were building this stuff as Pu'o was doing its thing, right? Erupting.
As it was doing its thing. All right. I think so. What will happen there is the insurance will say, did you do a risk assessment? You know that area was, active, and you still built a fucking hotel in this way. And you gave it a path to travel. No, nada, no. This is all your fault. Fuck off. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes. So they own the rights to the land they had, but now the land is under a couple meters of rock. In Hawaiian law, when Pele creates new land, that's public. So that Hilton Hotel thing that was there, they still have the property rights. It's now no longer beachfront. It's about 1 kilometer inland, and it's underneath public land. So too bad, Hilton.
How would that work? How would that work?
Well, in
Oh
other
yeah,
words,
they could
what
do
it says is that
like a shared. If they do set up something, they will have to come to an agreement on what
well,
will happen there if they wanted to do something. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I guess it's
because
possible.
what they say from a legal standpoint is the government didn't take your land. You still have
Oh,
it. Pele put new land on top of it, and that new land is
yeah,
public. So if you want to do something with your land, you need to negotiate with the
you have to
public.
talk to the government. Yeah, public or the
And the
government. Yeah.
public might have an opinion. Moreover, insurance might say, this is probably
Mm,
not the best place to do anything. So yeah.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
don't build structures, or if you do, expect to have to move because Pele. I mean, the entire Big Island is a volcano, right? It's all volcanoes, right?
Yeah.
Everything's volcanic.
Madam Pele
Eventually,
is like, get out of the way, bitch.
yes.
It's
And
mine now.
you
Get
can
out of the way.
see if you've been following this channel now, with this program now for what we've been, how many? Been on like 2 years ish. Something like that. I mean, we've been,
Yep.
and you're beginning to see the rhythms of the volcano, and so, and you'll get the notion of how it flows. The key thing is lots of data and lots of monitoring. And even then, it might be difficult to predict exactly when it happens and where, but the process is much more well understood. So,
But were they or were they not covered for goddess consequences for their insurance?
I'm gonna take a
yeah,
screenshot of
they
the
can.
notes I made today and put it on Twitter.
Do it.
Yeah. And it depends on the policy of how much is deductible and therefore what. They're more likely to get some cash out of it, or what would be a complete loss. Now, if your property was destroyed by fire because you're in the flatlands with lots of grass and the lava catches the grass and that's not volcanic, right? If your property gets cut off because the lava flows around it, nothing there. And again, you're talking about people there at that
The
royal
hubris of
estate
man.
had property for a couple of decades that was essentially worthless, right? And if they finally did collect on it, it was for the value of the property, not for the house, not for the loss of potential. Right? You don't insure on what you might have done with the property. You insured an empty lot.
So Slick is asking, Landon, can they build on their own land if they made a tunnel?
They would have to access through public land, and that becomes more of a thing, particularly because Barack Obama, who was born in Hawaii, some say is the first Hawaiian president, established indigenous Hawaiians as indigenous peoples, right? Before they didn't have indigenous status. So now if you go to an area which is sacred to an indigenous people and rights, you have to start negotiating with the indigenous people there as well as public land. Yeah. You just can't decide you're going to drill through and rebuild. Besides, who's going to build a road, water, sewer, power out to a spot which is underneath one of the world's most active volcanoes, which is doing stuff, right? It's like.
Did we get?
What do you think,
we get
Jeff?
a prediction? What do I think? I think people are fucking stupid. So I bet you fucking Elon Musk could like try and convince a bunch of fucking get down, Mr. President neckbeards to fund it for him. Maanyaa,
but yeah,
did you predict?
Just understand that some of the indigenous people there celebrate when Madam Pele takes out what was a bunch of frat houses and
oh no, the consequences of this god existing in this place and you desecrating her land everywhere. How surprising. It's almost like you get what you asked for, loser. Assholes. I am with the people of Hawaii on this one. I'm here for that. I'm also, as an atheist, far more likely to believe in a demigod like that than an omnipotent one like Christianity. So I'm here for Madam Pele.
And I understand, if you talk to indigenous Hawaiians there, they'll say privately, "Yeah, we know it's a volcano." But
Well,
we call
yeah,
it
that's not the
Madam Pele.
question. Yeah.
And they'll say, by the way, you have your Easter bunny and your tooth fairy and so forth. Just give us our thing. And
I'm fine. Yeah, no, you're not gonna catch any flack from me. I'm here for that. All right.
No, it's like they shouldn't have to ask for it, right? Give us
No,
something.
it should just be
No,
respected
it's
regardless,
there.
like anything
Deal
else.
with it.
Mhm.
Deal with it.
So not
Simple
Delta
as that.
Sigma fuckwit. Yeah, no, imagine that. All right, let's wrap it up here. What do you guys got?
The predictions have been made.
I think
so, yes.
Landon's got something coming up, right?
Isn't there? Yes. And so it is a case we have. Well, we do have the unnamed tavern, right?
The tavern is coming up on the 28th.
Is there a mini show on the 14th?
I'm working on that still.
Okay, so working on it.
Yeah.
And then there's a full UT on the, was it 20th or 21st or which?
28th is the full
28th.
tavern. Yeah.
Oh, the full tavern's on the 28th.
Full tavern on the 28th.
Okay.
Mini tavern should be on the 14th if I succeed in scheduling it.
Yeah. And then of course there is. I would highly encourage you to subscribe to Dr. Dino, where you will learn not only to laugh at people.
Learn
that say
something,
silly
can you?
things,
So you can
you'll
laugh at
learn
stupidity
something
too.
about reality. That's the thing, isn't it? He's not just a debunker thing. He is a educator. He's not a linguist, so you will not learn bits of Klingon. You will not learn aspects of French or Welsh or other things like that because he's not a linguist. And citation needed.
All right, Landon, you got anything
So there's
specifically?
that thing.
Yeah.
Maanyaa?
What are you up to, Maanyaa?
Me, I want to sleep.
Maanya's going to bed.
Yeah, I need a
And
nap.
you and Testing, you and Maanyaa, do you have like a show? Don't you do something on Fridays and?
Well, see you next Dumbfuck Friday, where we're probably going to talk about something. I've now got a show about lolcows that we just do every Monday until I'm done reading Project 2025. I am currently on chapter 7, so if you're interested in that, I really do think people should actually listen to the entire thing. I've got my board up here of all the citations that I have to look up in 2025 so far.
I love that.
I'm so upset about that. So once I finish reading it, I can start going through my pages and seeing how much of it is verified. You want me to take a picture? Yeah, okay, hold on.
Yes, can you take a picture of that thing for the stuff? Because, she's reading the actual text. You don't have to worry about people like,
it's like
Vance, who says, I know nothing to do with it, even though he's got the forward, and the orange hair guy saying, I don't know anything about it, even though he's endorsed it, and all that sort of thing. The problem is that they said the quiet part out loud.
Oh, they did a lot of that.
It's like a podcast. You don't have to even pay for it. It's free, and you can. I think so. If Chesh, you put it in a playlist, right?
It's not in a playlist yet. I recommend. The only thing is that I actually recommend listening to or reading the whole thing yourself, like actually the whole thing. Or, like, don't trust a summary, because a summary will not actually explain or verify or get across the actual, like, weight of all of the shit in it. And how it compounds on top of itself and gets worse and worse and worse when you say, okay, they want to do this, but they also want to do that in conjunction with this, which builds a web of bullshit. The best way, I think, to do this is to potentially, like, if you wanted a summary, is to get a summary of each chapter. But yeah, what's up?
Okay, I can read. Okay, I can read that shot. Okay.
I'm sorry, was it supposed to be legible? That wasn't the intention. No? Anyway, yeah, that's happening, and I'm doing that. I'm doing one chapter a day on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I am doing art after those shows. I'm trying to keep them at 2 to 2.5 hours, and then doing 2 to 4 hours worth of art. So you can catch me on Twitch. Links are down below. Thanks for joining us. I hope you have fun. We're going to get the hell on out of here. If you're interested in following the company or seeing what's going on with Vic Maanyaa, that is the thing that's happening on Mondays. Once I'm done project...
And is it with the company or the company they keep?
Yes, all the above. Shitty people hanging out with shitty people ends up with shitty results.
We
Alright,
love
I
the
forgot
company.
Say goodbye, everybody.
The company.
Goodbye, everybody.
We love the company. The company. The company.